Hi guys, my name is Jack Talbot. I'm a sports journalist and I've been asked by Created by Sport to give my 11 for Newcastle United next season should the PFI consortium take over, and Newcastle do indeed have a fair bit of money to spend on the transfer market. Now I've gone for a 4-2-3-1 formation because I think that's a standardised formation in the Premier League. It's also the one favoured by Rafa Benitez, who I'm hoping will rejoin with the side and lead us to better glory than we're having at the moment under Steve Bruce. In goal, I think there's no reason to have Martin Dubravka. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. I think he's been our best player for the past 2 seasons. He's authoritative in the air, he can shot stop, he can distribute relatively well. There is the odd mistake in him, maybe once or twice, but he's certainly maybe 8 to 10 points a season we're getting with him in goal. I certainly think he's really crept us up the table last season. The 4 at the back, I'm going to keep Danny Rose, who seems set to be signing a extended contract with Newcastle. I think he's a Premier League quality player who's not afraid to speak his mind, and I think his dressing room presence is something which is priceless, and I'd really like to see him in the side. Obviously he's not as good as he was maybe 5 seasons ago, but him as left back I think is fantastic. And there were Williams as well, who left us before, who was much more of an attacking threat, but I still would rather Danny Rose, and I think that would be much controversial to some Newcastle fans to have Rose over Williams, but I think he's just his character and, as I say, presence is brilliant. In the centre of midfield, obviously Jamal Lascelles is not a very good ball playing centre back, but in terms of his physicality and presence again and dominance, he's fantastic. He's a leader. There's great communication between him and Dubravka, so again there's no point to rupture that. He is our captain after all, and again it's someone who speaks his mind and someone whose personality can really drive the team forward, despite of his talent on the ball talent being muchly desired. But we can just give that to the next person in the centre back, which is Fabian Schär, who can bring the ball forward, who can shoot, who can do these things. So I would have Schär there again. I know we've been linked to Koulibaly. I don't think that's going to be very likely at this stage. Maybe in a couple of seasons, if everything goes well, if we get the green light, then Koulibaly definitely. Obviously, who wouldn't say no to him? But for now, I cannot see anyone. I think Jamal Lascelles and Fabian Schär, I think that's Newcastle's strength is in their defence. On the right side, Vicente Lazaro, who's arguably been our best loanee signing in January. He's come in, I think he scored a couple of goals, and he is a real attacking threat. People say maybe he's a bit further, he's a bit better placed further up on the right hand side on the right wing. I disagree. I think he can defend. I think he can do a bit of both, and I think when you're looking at the defensive qualities of a wing-back, you're not, in this day and age, you're not really looking at them to be exceptional. I think the importance is how far they can go, what's their stamina, what's their engine like, and can they relatively tackle again. But if there is someone else who wanted to buy, there's Hakimi from Borussia Dortmund, 21-year-old. He's very fast-paced and he could be brought in instead. But I do think Lazaro, I wouldn't be too bothered if we got him or not. And I don't know if Borussia Dortmund, despite their character of seemingly getting these players up to a good level, then offloading them quite quickly, I don't think they'd be willing to sell this one. And I don't know if this guy, Hakareni, would want to come here, especially if we don't have Champions League football yet, and I imagine he's got contracted to Dortmund still. The 2 holding midfielders role, I'd like to see Sumar of Lille come in. Newcastle made for a bid for him last January, but we just missed out on him. He'd be great. He's quite a towering player, good aggressive player, good physicality, good technique, and him aside Sean Longstaff or Matty Longstaff would be fantastic in that holding midfield role. Just ahead in the 3 attacking midfielders, I'd have Almiron, Saint-Maximin, and then also maybe Nabil Fekir. He of course was at Lyon when Liverpool tried to make an approach for him a couple of years ago. He is now with Real Betis. I think that is not a club doing too amazing at the moment, and I think he may be a little bit more talented, and maybe he'd be interested in a move, especially having that left foot. Again, going back to Rafa Benitez, he used to like having players of opposing feet on either side. So someone left-footed would be on the right side of midfield. And Fekir fits that perfectly to be in that right side, to drill in, cut across and go forward. And up front, obviously, we've got Joe Linton, and he's done pretty terrible this season as far as stats go. There have been glimmers of hope, particularly towards the end of the campaign. I say end, before the COVID took over and of course the Premier League had to shut down. there were glimmers of his hold-up play, his physicality, his first touch is good, and he can bring in play very well. It's very similar to Mitrovic in that regard, if not even a little bit more intelligent than Mitrovic. But obviously where he was lacking was in goals, which is probably down to his lack of confidence. Now, I think that if you looked at him during the pre-season, he was on fire, he was able to score goals, he was able to get in good positions, even running behind, which is quite unique for someone his size. But I think really he's had his chance, and I think you have to go to look to Rangers. They've got a striker called Morelos, and Alfredo Morelos, and he has got an abundance of goals in the Scottish Premiership. An abundance of goals. Being just 23 years old, he's on fire. Now, it's quite hard to draw comparisons between the two leagues and say, well, what do you do well? Obviously, it's no offence to a Scottish league, but I think it's clearly a lesser, it's not as tough league as the Premiership. But there is a similar style with those two nations and them two leagues. So I think in terms of adapting to our league, it wouldn't be much of a move up. It would not be. I'm sure he may struggle at times, compared to playing. No offence to like Dundee, but if you go up against Manchester United and whatnot, then he may, But I think in general, I think he'd be a very, very good signing. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and remember to subscribe, like, and comment. I've been Zilla Shots, and this has been Created by Sports.